G'day people, I'm Monster Dad and welcome back to this Space Engineers single player survival. Made a few changes around the base. It's been a little while between episodes. I had to do quite a bit of stuff off camera to get ready for this particular episode. Not because it's a special episode, but because it was just needed to progress a little bit. So I finally got the automatic LCDs programmed in to this block here, so I could display what we've got here. I think I'm going to change the colour of these. So down here I've got all my components listed that we've got on the base here. All the ores and ingots. So yeah, good amount. Still got 832,000 ice. It's slowly working its way through that. That's the point. Does it list the liquid hydrogen on this, I wonder? Or does that list it as a component? Oh, there it is, yeah. V2 hydrogen gas. 232.4 thousand. Or is that the... Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Got 177,000 there. How much gas do you get in this? So it's not that. 55,000 in there. Yeah, so that must be what that listing is. V2 hydrogen gas, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, good to know. Okay, because that'll be important for our hydrogen processing plant when we get that one completely up and running. So yeah, I've done that. I haven't really done any other changes here. I still really need to detail the inside of the factory. It hasn't changed at all since we built it. And need to start building on this area next, I think. Energy's a bit low. Ah, I feel refreshed. So, I've been working on this area over here. So last time you saw it, it was just all frames. So, I've got it all completed now. Why is one connector a different colour? They should all be white. Never mind. Did a bit of work on this building. I put like an observation walkway around the outside, which I thought would be quite good for when you're overlooking the fields, etc. But I'll show you the inside of that in a moment. One of the changes I did do was to my salvage bomb. Change the position of the bobs, put some of the hardened blocks on the bottom here so it can stand nicely on that. I wanted to be able to see the fill level on this really easily. That's one of the reasons I moved the bobs around. And the other reason was so I could get an inventory system on this as well, so I could see what's in it, because I'm now using this also as my mobile constructor, and it works really well for that. So salvage all the stuff from other ships, come back, and you can just move this around the base and use it to construct. So this can basically constructed all of this and all of this, and what I will do is use this to construct the ice drills out on the ice flats as well today, and I want to try and start doing those today actually. So yeah, so that's the changes to that. Cool beans. Okay, let's have a look at this building. So I played around with a couple of designs for the entrance. Yeah, decided on that. I think it's worked out okay. And that walkway goes around three sides of it. I'll show you that in just a moment. Open sesame! So I've got the programmable block in here because I think it's going to be on this wall, put some LCDs. I guess I could put them on there right now, couldn't I? So that we can easily see. Yeah, and I'll stick 4 on there. At the moment, I think I might have turned the bobs off at the moment, but yeah, never mind. Oh, no I didn't. 4 bobs, 4 LCDs. Look at that, instantaneous. Now there's efficiency. Why are you still going? Stop. Yeah, so I can display the contents of this place as well, because this essentially is a separate base to our main base over there, as I explained last time. Why are you still going? That's really annoying. You're complete. Okay, it'll stop eventually. Yeah. So instead of just the ordinary control chair, I decided to use one of the is it Cole's command consoles? I can't remember now. What are they called? They're here somewhere. Where is it? Command console. No, it doesn't say. Okay, yeah, so whatever that mod is, I decided to use one of these. So a bit awkward getting the chair, but yep, I'm getting like that. So you got the same, basically it's a control chair, which looks a bit better. We'll do a bit better lighting here. I stuck a remote control in there. I think I explained that last time as well, because I want to be able to control this hydrogen plant from the main base over there as well, if necessary. To that end, I do need to put an antenna on it, and I haven't yet. But tidied up a little bit around here. Stuck some windows here. Just blocked off a little bit of the ugliness. So if we head up, we love this ladder mod. So these are all windows. It's all sealed. Not that that's really important, but yeah, you know, just for. Oh, that window's the wrong way around. How annoying. And the one on the other end. Oh, I'm going to have to change that. I'm going to have to change that. So you get a nice view across the ice fields from here. So when all the drones are coming in and the ice drills are burning and turning, you should get a really nice view from here, which I thought would be pretty cool. Yeah. Cool beans. And we can get down this end. Where's the ladder? Whee! Legs don't move on these ladders, which is a bit weird. Changed a little bit down here as well. It's a little hazard sign because you need to get onto the ladder here. And before, last time I came down here, it was just tons and tons of storage and nothing else. So what I did was I put walkways. And this is Shoustel's Catwalks, which is a really, really nice mod. And I did that all the way around both sides. So all of these over here will be for the hydrogen gas, because my plan is for the remote controlled planet to orbit cargo ship, which will hopefully be remote controlled as well and automatic, will land above there. It will be powered by hydrogen engines, so it will fill up its hydrogen tanks from here, and the cargo will come from these ones, and the cargo will be the liquid hydrogen. And that's the only cargo it will take. So over here what we've got are the hydrogen evaporators, which produces the gas, and then the actual hydrogen processors, which produces the liquid hydrogen. And then down this end, these large containers is the ice storage, and that's all it's for, because it will need quite a lot. Because what I don't want to happen is those 3 large containers down at the other end start topping up with ice. Otherwise there'll be no space for the liquid hydrogen to be placed in there, and eventually it'll just stop the whole thing from working. So all of these are purely ice storage. So they go all the way around. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's where it goes up to all the connectors, the stuff to be delivered. And I've deliberately left each one of these open all the way around here, just so you can access them if needed. I can't see any reason why I would ever need to, but hey ho. So that's the changes I did down here. Got it. Nailed it. Nailed it. Whee! So there's no point programming the LCDs at the moment here, because it has no inventory whatsoever at the moment. So yeah, so that's the hydrogen processing plant. And then on the roof here is simply this one connector. It does need, oh no, I did put a sorter block, didn't I? Or did I? Maybe I didn't. I'll have to check that. But it needs a sorter block on it as well, because it will need to be configured to push out the hydrogen gas so that the vessel fills its hydrogen tanks for its fuel, and also to fill the cargo boxes with the liquid hydrogen. And I'm thinking actually that I might just build a small ship, you know, with the small blocks, rather than a large vehicle, mainly for fuel efficiency more than anything, because I don't think this liquid hydrogen weighs much. Let me just go and check something. And I don't think it takes up a lot of cargo space. So if we go to the main cargo container here, so there's 179,000 liquid hydrogen in here at the moment. So I've got just over 2,500 litres volume left in my inventory. So if I double click and transfer, alright, 6.2, so it does weigh a bit. Okay, no problem. But even so, as you can see, this cargo container, it's barely even full. Yeah, barely any space taken up at all in this at the moment, and there's 173,000 units in there already. So one large cargo container, or even a small ship large cargo container, would carry an enormous amount of this liquid hydrogen. So that's why I'm thinking maybe I'll do a small ship system to take that, to make an automated cargo orbit to, or planetary to orbit cargo ship. But yeah, I'll have to make a decision on that one at some point, I guess. So what I wanted to do first of all at the moment, I don't know if I'm going to have the right resources left in this at the moment to do so. Whee! Right, I'm going to put a projector on the front of this, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Boom. Okay, so let's get it the right way around. That goes like that. That's it. So the 2-line bit at the top and the 4 lines facing forward, and that's the right way round. What I did try to do is, let me just turn my bobs off at the moment. Bob, you're off. Whee! Such a useful machine, this one. I don't know how I could manage without it now. As a mobile constructor and a salvage, perfect. So let's go over here. What I want to do is get the first one of these ice drills built. Might as well stick it over here. So what I did is I blueprinted the ice drill, but there's problems with trying to blueprint that. Mainly because it's essentially 3 completely different grids because of the rotors and the pistons. Okay. So I'll show you, if I get into the projector at the moment. Where did I leave the projector? There you are. Okay, let's go from here. I'll show you what I mean. So let's go to our blueprints. ice drill. So on the image you can see that it shows the complete ice drill. Let me adjust this slightly. I need to get in a position where I can see this, don't I? I should do it. So that's forward is up and down. That's the way I want to go at the moment. Let's move it out a bit. Okay, that'll do for demonstration purposes. So, like I said, it's essentially 3 different grids. So, the blueprint recognises down to the rotor head and inclusive of the rotor head. So, it doesn't include the bottom block and the main rotor down there. Now, what I've tried to do is build a block with a rotor, took the head off it, but it simply won't connect. And as you know, with projectors, it needs to be connected to a solid block at some point for it to be able to start the build. The other problem is it cuts off the final piston and all of the drills because it sees that again as a separate grid, which is not a big deal, you know, I mean, easy enough to put on. So building it from a blueprint is pretty much a non-starter. However, the blueprint is still useful because what I can do is just use this as a build guide. So if I go back down here and move it to the side, so as long as it's not connected to a solid block, the bobs won't start building it. So what I can do is when I get to the projector, choose the right thing. Horizontal, yeah, okay, so let's just move it to the side a bit and move it down a bit. Okay, what I could do is use it as a guide, so I don't have to try and remember exactly how I built it. I can just build this nearby and then Bob can help. So if I put the bobs back on again, fingers crossed they will not start building that. Good, and they haven't. Ouch. So let's get some stuff in my hotbar. Bit of a pain because it means the building process is a little longer than I would like. Some blocks. Okay, so what else do we want on here? The main things. Obviously you need some pistons. Let's get the cargo stuff. So large cargo container, conveyor tube stuff. So what I could do is basically build it to the side here, out of the way, so the build doesn't touch this one when I'm doing it. And then the bobs, once I put something on that they recognise as mine, should start building this. So what I could do is, if I forget something, I can come over here, see how many blocks high was that. 1, 2, 3, is it 4 or 5? Do you know what? Can't tell. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that look right? Was it 5? I've got to get that right, the height right, otherwise it won't work properly. This is where I run out of hydrogen and fall down the hole. 1, 2, 4. Yeah, it was 5. Yeah. Okay, I can sort of use it as a guide. Okay, and then we want a large cargo container on the top of that. Boom. I don't think this is going to have enough components to build all of this at the moment, but I can always grab some more. Ooh, that hurt. I didn't think I was going very fast either. Okay. Gotta be careful of that. So from here we got 2 cargo coming off. Yeah. Then a conveyor block and then a pistons start coming down. I probably should have... Oh no, we'll build it out this way. So... 1, 2, conveyor, and then locks across there. And then we have... I don't think I need another rotor, do I? Let's get the pistons on. Whee! Am I determined to kill myself? Press the right buttons. Monster Dad, press the right buttons. Okay, so on there we can have the drill bits, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. We don't need any more pistons. Drill, drill, drill. Okay, cool beans. Don't need those bits anymore, so let's go over there. So that's that side nearly built. We just need 3 timers and a remote control. Remote. Timers. One, 2. How do we put those? Just one straight on top of that, wasn't it? 3 timers. Then we want a battery. Oh, let's get in there and lock those pistons. Lock that rotor, sorry. Rotor off. Lock. Let's not have this moving. Yeah, missing loads of components. I think it's mainly motors that I'm missing. Oh, construction components. Really? I'm missing construction components? Okay, I've got thousands of them in the base. Thousands of them. Zulus. Thousands of them. Where does it go? Don't shoot until you see the whites of their eyes. But what if they've got their eyes closed, Captain? Classics. Absolute classics. Battery. Solar panels. That goes up there, and there's a sorter block, isn't it, from after that? Sorter block, then a connector. I mean, this is going to take time to configure all of these, and I don't think there's any way around it. I mean, somebody mentioned that I could, a few people have mentioned actually that I could have made a mobile ice drill, stuck some engines on it, and I could just move it around when I was done with it. But the whole purpose of this hydrogen plant is so that we have a hydrogen processing field. So there are a lot of ice drills around. There are lots of remote cargo, automated cargo vessels going to and from the ice drills and to the processing plant. So it's a hive of activity rather than shifting one piece of equipment around the field. And that way, obviously, if they're all automated like that, I can shove off up to space and do whatever I need to do up there without having to come back. Or at least come back every now and then, which was really one of the purposes as well. So it's a completely automated liquid and hydrogen processing area plant that will automatically deliver all that processed liquid hydrogen to my orbital base, where I can then utilize that for the vessels I've got in space, in the space area. And that's the whole point of it. I didn't want it to be somewhere that I had to keep coming down to, moving equipment around, restarting a process. So yeah, a little bit longer to actually set up, but once it's set up, that should be it, really. And there will be enough ice, as you've seen by the amount of ice. I mean, that produced about over 10 million units of ice. So, and the plan is to start another 7 of them initially. 70 million units of ice, between 70 and 100 million units of ice it's going to produce. So that should last me a long time, and it's going to give that processing plant something to do for a very long time. Yeah, so that's why that it's not a mobile one, even though that essentially would probably be much easier to build. Okay, is that right? Is that right? Come on. Come on, you can do it. Why won't that sit straight on there? Okay, well, we'll have to go like that, won't it? I'm going to run out of hydrogen soon if I'm not careful. I'll keep an eye on that. Boom. So what are we missing now? So we've got drills going up there, blah blah blah, yep, boom boom boom, power. What are we missing from this side? Antenna. I think that's it then. Yeah, the antenna, and it is done. So let's press the right button for starters. Pop an antenna on that bad boy. Boom. Yeah. And that's it done, isn't it? I think it is. Pretty certain. And again, setting up the route systems, all the waypoints for the cargo drones. It is going to be time consuming, it is going to be a pain, but like I said, once they're all set up, it's done, you know. And if I felt at some point in future I was getting short of liquid hydrogen, which I really can't imagine I'm going to at any point during this series at all, I could always come down here and spend a couple of hours game time and set up another 7, and the whole thing would start over again. So yeah. Cool beans. That's right. So let's find out that's what I was going to do. I was going to find out what we're missing. Construction components from all of those. In fact, all I need to do is check Bob, don't I? So power cells, large tubes, construction components. They're all going to say the same thing, aren't they? Yeah. So not many large tubes, just 120 power cells, and lots of construction components. Good. So I can turn that projector off now. which is useful for a reference. And I can head back and grab some stuff. I mean, I could just fly over there and come back in the rover with all the stuff I need. But it'll probably just easier to fly back over there for the moment. Projector. You can now go off. Yep, all done. Move away before I hit it. So that's the system I'm going to use to set up the other 7 drills around the ice. Once they're set up, we'll get the do you know, sorry, I'm just distracting myself for a moment there. Depends how deep these deposits are. I could always add another piston or two, couldn't I? I'm just thinking I could actually set up a similar thing to mine out some of these deposits that are on the ice, if they're not too deep. At the moment, these drills will go down. The 2 pistons will put these drills about 15 meters below the surface, and that's the depth of that hole over there, about 15 meters, which just gets through the ice. Now, if I add in another couple of pistons, obviously I'd need to have them higher up, unless I had actually, you could put pistons side by side and configure them so that you can get deeper without them being too high, rather than having 4 pistons one on top of each other. There is a way you can do it by having a couple of pistons side by side, and if you build it just right, you can get it to extend 4 piston depth, but only build it 2 piston tall. I hope that made sense. It makes sense to me. But I understand what I'm talking about. I'm probably not explaining it very well, but if I could do something like that, I could actually drill out some of these deposits over here as well, because I think there's a gold deposit over there and a silver deposit. We've got nickel over here as well. There's uranium, silicon. I think there's also magnesium. I'm going to need a lot of magnesium. But I could actually set up some kind of automatic system to drill out those deposits as well and deliver those to the actual base. Processing. Worth thinking about. May be just easier to get them from asteroids because there's so much more of it, and there is, I believe, a good script. I can't remember who the script's by. I don't know if it's from Izzy or not, for an automated miner, asteroid miner, which would be pretty cool. I think that's as close as I want to get to those solar panels. Whee! Now I don't know if I've got the components I need already made. Do you know what? I'm going to go around this way because I want to fill up my hydrogen and recover my health. Probably be a good idea. Okay. Task number 1 done. Just put my light on. That was a strange little float there. I was floated off those stairs. Good job I didn't float into that hole. Yes, the next task after I've set up these ice drills is to start building the main part of the building here. Yeah. I mean, I should have plenty of materials for it now because I've got like 90,000 steel plate in this thing alone. Okay, let's have a look. So we needed construction components. Let's pop those in. Let's just pop all of that in there for the moment. Oh, I need more construction components, that's for sure. Did need some large tubes. Right, let's get into production and get some. Do 5,000 construction components. Let's grab some more of those tubes. What was it? It needed some power cells. I could do with a more effective way of transferring this stuff. The only thing I can think of is I can't use that connector up there because that's a one-way system to deliver. What I could do is actually build a connector out of this. I still want to access this manually when I need to, but what I could actually do is put another conveyor block there and bring a connector out here that this thing could actually sit on, and put a connector in place of that block down there. And if I do that, yeah, problem with that, it will probably empty all of its stuff into here. But I should be able to manually transfer tons and tons of stuff much more quickly then. I'll have to think about that one. I'll have a think about it. So, what else we need? We need power cells. I think I've got tons of those. Oh, I'd say tons, not enough. 7 of them I need altogether, so yeah. I've got enough to finish off the build for this one, but I'll need a lot more. So what's that? 700, 840, I think I need altogether. So I might as well get some of those queued up as well. They're not too expensive to make. Let's do 1,000. Okay, so that should be enough stuff in there now to finish off that ice drill, which I think I'll go and do. Oh, let's go. We might as well finish it on camera, hadn't we? I should probably not fly this so close to the floor. If I caught the ground with this one, it will be disastrous because it's so heavy. Okay, finish off. I'm sure I left the bobs on. Yeah, there they go. So we should see this getting finished now. Such a great mod, that build and repair system. I haven't actually tried the nanite factory itself, the really big nanite factory, but I might actually build one of those in the orbital factory at some point, because when we start building this humongous battleship, my plan is to build it in modules. So we'll design a part of the broadside and then repeat that in modules until we get the right number and size that we want. Yeah, it should be good, but I'll need something pretty effective to do that. And I'm thinking maybe the big nanite factory might be the way to go with that one. Plus it gives me an excuse to use it, because I haven't used one before. Very expensive to make as far as I'm aware, but You know, resources shouldn't really be an issue at that point. Okay, so we're complete. Cool beans. It just needs setting up now with all the timers, which is a fairly straightforward setup. Then build another 6 of them. Woohoo! Then once we've done that, we can start thinking about getting these drones built. And then that's it. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. We will have our hydrogen processing fields. And we need a name, I think, for this base. So the planet's called New Destiny. So do we want to have something like that within its name, or do we want something to do with Pilgrim, since it was the Pilgrim's Pride ship that started all this madness in the first place? I don't know. Suggestions will be gratefully received. Yeah, I think that building turned out sort of okay, actually. Sort of what I was going for. Oh, there we go. That's why I put hardened blocks on the bottom of this, because I keep landing it a bit too heavy. Right. You down? Yeah, looks good. A bit wobbly, but good, none the same. Was there any damage that time? Mind you, if there was any damage, Bob's would have repaired it anyway, so yeah, we're all good. I think I need to increase the size of that writing, that text. Yeah. Good. Okay, fantastic. Alright, I'm going to call it an episode there. We're probably a little bit over time, but again, got stuff achieved, which is great. So next time I come back, my plan is to have all 7 of the new ice drills in place and fully built. And what I'll do as well is I'm going to start trying to figure out exactly how this main area for the base will look as well. Because once we finish that bit, this base should be pretty much there actually. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I like the way it's going. I like the way it's going. And the mobile constructor is working really well too. Because the Bobs only have a 75-meter range, so you know, if you're building over a big area, it's a bit restrictive. So it's really good to have that mobile constructor available. Brilliant. Okay, right. I'll call it an episode there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please press that like button. Please consider subscribing for more episodes, and I will see you all later. Bye!